I am Pavel, Chief of Mission of the Embassy of Belarus in the United States. I'm joining this forum online from the national capital, Washington, D.C. I'm sorry I cannot be with you in person, but my message is no less meaningful because of that. First of all, I want to acknowledge the importance of indefatigable efforts of Mike Cunningham and World Affairs Council Austin in raising public awareness on the genocide of the Belarusian people during World War II and in promoting historical truth. Mike has asked me to elaborate on the importance of changing laws to make sure that genocide criminals are not allowed to escape justice just by dying themselves, and on what Belarus has learned from doing this. Taking into account changes in the Code of Criminal Procedure, we are separating from the main criminal case on genocide the materials of criminal cases against accomplices of Nazi criminals, including the Nazi criminals themselves. The Supreme Court has handed down guilty verdicts in 5 criminal cases. These cases are being actively covered in the media by the Supreme Court. Video recordings of the proceedings and witness testimonies are posted on the internet. Anyone can watch and listen to the testimonies. The 6th criminal case against Nazi criminal SS officer Hans Ziegling is currently pending before the Supreme Court. This is the first Nazi criminal to be tried, not accomplice, but Nazi criminal. He was a Nazi, a member of the SS since the 1930s, who escaped criminal prosecution and was not tried either in the Soviet Union or in Germany. It has been established that he personally killed or gave orders to kill at least 1,706 people. These were civilians, including 238 young children. Some of the documents were provided to us by the German side. The 57th Battalion, commanded by the Nazis, took part in other punitive operations, but due to the lack of documents, not everything could be proven. We think that the punishment must be inevitable. Criminal responsibility must be enforced. There should be no statute of limitations for such crimes. Potential criminals should think seriously about this, because their actions will be condemned forever. Bringing deceased Nazi criminals and their accomplices to justice is of great historical and political significance for Belarus. It not only helps to restore historical truth and justice, but also strengthens the sovereignty of the state and serves as an eternal memory to those who died, both civilians and defenders of the country. I would also like to let you know that during almost 5 years of investigation into the genocide of the Belarusian people, the Prosecutor General's Office of Belarus has managed to establish tens of thousands of new facts, which were included in the criminal case materials. A tremendous amount of work was done by the prosecutor's offices and the investigative committee. One of the most important areas of work is establishing the locations of mass killings of civilians. These are previously unknown facts that we were able to establish thanks to close work on criminal case files in Belarus and Russia. Another area of work is establishing all the Belarusian villages and hamlets that were destroyed during the occupation. Before the criminal case was opened, it was believed that 9,200 Belarusian villages and hamlets had been destroyed. But thanks to the work done, the destruction of 12,868 settlements has been reliably established. At least 290 villages repeated the tragic fate of Hatyn, They were completely destroyed along with their inhabitants and never revived. Mass punitive operations against the population, which had not been publicized before, have been established by the investigators. The publications of the Prosecutor General's office have been translated into English and have been the best-selling publications in Belarus since 1990s. Several editions have been published. The books are in demand. The demand for the truth is growing. Several new editions are in preparation. One of them will concern the burned villages. Thanks to what we are doing in our country, we are confident that Nazism will not raise its ugly head here in Belarus. This is a perfect way to remember the sacrifice the good people of Belarus made in the Great Patriotic War. In this matter, we are ready to lead by example.